Discover the transformative power of Zen and the art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress on Transformation Talk Radio. Every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, Dr. Steve Simpson combines the principles of Zen philosophy with the techniques of neuro-linguistic programming to help you achieve your goals with ease and tranquility. Whether you're seeking personal growth, professional development, or improved relationships, this show offers practical strategies and insights to navigate life's challenges with a calm and focused mindset. Get ready to embrace a new level of success and serenity. Zen and the art of NLP starts now.
Hello everyone, it certainly does start now today, because one of our greatest gifts is, it's probably the one that you never think about. It's your innate skill of chunking up to see the big picture and chunking down to the sometimes dull but essential details. I'm Dr. Steve Simpson, and you are listening to Zen and the Art of NLP on Transformation Talk Radio. Every week, we'll choose a topic highlighting a core skill of neuro-linguistic programming, otherwise known as NLP, because we believe in your potential to grasp and apply these concepts in your life. How do we know that? Because you signed up for the show, and that's all we need. We take care of the rest. The three foundations of NLP are modeling excellence, using effective language patterns, and learning how to connect to the massive power of the unconscious mind, mainly, but not only, through hypnosis. These foundations form the basis of NLP and are crucial for understanding its principles and techniques. We will also explore Zen philosophies. Zen is a state of calmness, attentiveness, and inner peace. It shares a common goal with NLP to enhance personal development and improve communication. Someone with a Zen attitude approaches a situation calmly and with a focused awareness. This is the home of peak performance and the source of massive results. Today's headline topic is learn how to chunk up and chunk down to boost your motivation. And I got three quotes on this subject, or related to the subject. Do you know what the statesman Colin Powell thought about the big picture? He said, if you achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it's a prevailing attitude. And the second one, do you know what Coach John Wooden thought about the big picture? It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. Yeah, well, they certainly do. And finally, do you know what the actor Danny Kaye thought about the big picture? Life is a great big canvas. Throw all the paint you can at it. So let's get throwing those paint cans, and I'm sure some of the paint will stick to the wall and it'll be a work of art. And the source of these three inspirational quotes is from brainyquote.com. Stay with us for the next 30 minutes and let us help you experience that sweet spot of mind, body, and soul to embrace a new level of success and serenity, helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. Please post your questions and comments, and I'll do my best to answer them in the final part of the show. This is your chance to engage directly with a topic and share your thoughts with our audience. To remind you, today's headline topic is learn how to chunk up and chunk down to boost your motivation. NLP equips you with the practical tool of choosing whether to simultaneously see the big picture, the little picture, or both. NLP chunking can be used in various situations. It's a helpful tool for setting goals, boosting motivation, solving problems, better understanding information, and providing reassurance that we do not live in a random universe. So let's get started right now. Step 1 of 3 to mastering this skill is understanding the core concepts of chunking up and chunking down. NLP chunking up refers to taking specific information or situations and zooming out to see the bigger picture. It's a way of shifting perspective from the details to the broader context, and here's how it works. Imagine that you've got a big chunk of information, like a task you're struggling with. By chunking up, you ask yourself, what's the bigger goal or purpose behind this task? Because changing your perspective always leads to a different view of your situation. It stimulates fresh thought and boosts your motivation to complete the project, making it seem less overwhelming. For instance, instead of getting bogged down in the specifics of writing a report, chunking up might involve asking yourself, why is this report important? The answer could be to inform a decision that will benefit the entire team. This broader perspective can refocus your energy and make the task seem more worthwhile. Chunking up is a technique used in NLP, a communication and personal development approach. It's a valuable tool for gaining perspective, overcoming challenges, and achieving goals. NLP chunking down refers to breaking down information into manageable pieces. Bit like organising your sock drawer, if you do. Can't say mine's very organised. Chunking down specifically focuses on zooming in on the details, and here's how it works. Imagine you want to be wealthy. Well, that's a pretty broad goal. Chunking down would involve asking yourself questions to get more specific, like, what does being wealthy mean to me? Because it can mean lots of different things. Maybe it includes having more money. Then what precisely? Precisely is a pretty good NLP word. Richard Bandler uses it all the time. What precisely can I do to have more money? And a possible answer is perhaps I can sell more online merchandise. What kind of online merchandise do I enjoy creating? See how these questions are building? Well, maybe it might be making videos or podcasts. Actually, I like doing both of those things. By chunking down, you take a significant goal and you turn it into smaller, actionable steps. This can make it feel less overwhelming and more achievable, therefore relieving and reducing a lot of the stress. Here are some other questions you can ask yourself to chunk down. Journalists will be very familiar with this. And policemen and women. It's the who, what, where, when, why. So in this context, the example I've been using, why do I want to be wealthy? And then another example would be, can you give me an example of what being wealthy looks like for you? And the components of this would be, what are the different aspects of being wealthy? Because when you think about it, there's quite a few bits there. So NLP chunking is a helpful tool for boosting motivation, setting goals, solving problems, and understanding information better. Now, step 2 of the 3 steps in this show is learning more about motivation and where it comes from. Motivation is the internal drive that propels you to act and move towards your goals. It's a key factor in achieving success. It's the fuel that powers your desire to achieve specific objectives and directs your behavior towards those goals. And it's an internal state. It comes from within you rather than from someone else forcing you to do something. That's because that doesn't help. It's goal-oriented. It's what fuels your desire to achieve something specific. And it's directed behavior. No loose cannons here. It gives you the energy and focuses on taking steps towards that goal. Psychologists, not surprisingly, have studied motivation for a long time, and they see it as a complex interplay of different factors, including there's the biological needs of hunger, of thirst, and the desire for comfort. They're all basic biological needs that can motivate us to take action. We have to. Emotions, positive emotions like hope and joy, can motivate us to seek rewards, while negative emotions like fear and anger can motivate us to avoid punishment. Social factors, our desire to fit in with others, to gain approval or achieve status, can all be powerful motivators. Not necessarily good, though, perhaps. Cognitive factors, our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations about ourselves and the world, can also significantly influence our motivation. So next time you feel driven to accomplish something, you can thank your excellent motivation for giving you that push. To remind you, you are listening to Zen and the Art of NLP with me, Dr. Steve Simpson. We're going to take a swift break, but before we do that, I always ask these three questions. Take a moment to think about these three questions. Number one, what is the one thing that you desire the most? Desire the most. Sure, you've spent plenty of time thinking about that. What's the one thing that is stopping you from achieving it? Well, I hope you've spent some time on doing that, because unless you can find out what's stopping you, unfortunately, that's going to be quite a barrier to getting what you desire the most. And the third one is a bit of a strange one, perhaps. What's the one thing that you want to share with others? Share with others. And there are many reasons why this is important. It's why it's perhaps the most important. It's because when you start coming from the sharing with others, getting away from the me, what's in it for me, you're raising your frequencies. And those are going to echo all around the universe and possibly even further. So when we return after the break, step 3, the final step, is learning how to boost your motivation, particularly when it might be flagging. Trust me, this is a lot easier than it might sound. So stay tuned. We will be right back, helping you achieve a lot more success with a lot less stress. And we are right back. I hope you enjoyed pondering those 3 big questions during the break. And now I've got a big question. Actually, it's more of a big ask for you. Please email me and tell me how you answered those 3 questions and which I might be able to help you with. My address is doc@drstephensimpson.com. I'd like to use this as content for a future show, and in return, you will help others struggling with the same issues. As we mentioned previously, you're going to raise those frequencies and be rewarded, perhaps, who knows. And because when you help others, as I say, those frequencies go up and you receive many gifts from the universe in return. And if you're a little bit on the shy side, like I am, you can also be anonymous. Tell me this in your note. The best way to find out more about me and my work, and I hope you do, is to check out my website, drstephensimpson.com. Sign up for my free weekly newsletter and discover plenty of other free stuff to explore, including the Zen Doctor and the Poker Genius podcast channels. If you feel rich, and I hope you do, and if you don't feel rich, I really hope that you soon will be rich, you can purchase some great books, hypnotic audiobooks, and coaching programs there on my website. As you would expect, I confidently recommend any of my books that are on Amazon. Good place to start would be Get Lucky Now. It's from the feedback I've had, it's worked for quite a lot of people. Anyway, according to the Amazon description, what they write about it, this is what they say. Get Lucky Now, the 7 Secrets of Lucky People, presents simple yet extraordinary strategies for listening to your intuition, unscrambling complex issues into easy-to-understand concepts. Simpson offers real-world examples and visionary action steps to tap into your 6th sense and manifest your grandest ambitions. You can forge your desired destiny as soon as you know exactly who you are, what you want, and how to obtain your objectives. Moving on, step 3, the final step, is learning how to boost your motivation, particularly when it's flagging. And there are many ways to boost your motivation, and the best approach often depends on what's causing you to feel stuck. Here are some strategies that you can try. Set SMART goals. You've probably heard of these before. SMART is all in capitals, SMART, because it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. And these are examples of chunking down, which we mentioned a few minutes ago. Vague goals like get healthier, they're hard to motivate yourself towards. Specific goals, however, like lose 5 pounds this month, are much more transparent and accessible to track. Chunk down big goals into smaller steps. Overwhelming goals can feel paralyzing. That's why people sometimes don't press that publish button and get their book out there, or even start writing their book. So anyway, break these goals down into single, more manageable tasks. As I say, this will make them less overwhelming and give you a sense of accomplishment as you complete each step. Focus on the why. Remember why you're working towards this goal. What will achieving it mean for you? Visualize the positive outcomes to keep yourself motivated. If you're struggling with motivation, it's possible that the goal you have set does not have enough emotional attachment to you because it should. This might be a goal you want for the wrong reasons, perhaps, or that somebody has recommended to you. Nobody can recommend a goal to you. It has to come from inside yourself. And please remember, as always in life, reward yourself. Set up a reward system for completing tasks or reaching milestones and celebrate those baby steps. Commitment, that's a big thing. Make a commitment with somebody you know. Having someone to check in with and support you can make a big difference. This could be a friend, it could be a family member, or it could be an online community group. This is one of the foundations of, for example, drug and alcohol programs, as well as weight loss programs, exercise programs, and many other types of programs. That's how powerful it can be. Please take care of yourself. When none of us are very good at this. Feeling motivated when feeling burnt out is going to be hard. Your body needs sleep. Your body needs rest. It needs healthy foods, and it needs regular exercise to get that blood flowing. Start small with the 5-minute rule, perhaps. If you're struggling to start a task, try the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll work on it for 5 minutes. Often you'll find that once you get started, you'll keep going for longer. This is the one that actually probably helps me the most. And I say, come on, let's do 5 minutes when I can't think of anything to write about. By the time I get into it, often ideas have come as if from nowhere, and isn't that good? Anyway, when I used to play a lot of sports and rugby, it would be pouring down with rain, when windy and cold most of the time. And the coach would come in and he said, put your boots on, because I was finding all kinds of reasons not to get out there for the practice. So as soon as you put your boots on, you're committed. So come on, folks, get those boots on, get on with those projects, get them started, the 5-minute rule and everything else. This is a big one coming up now, because this is what we all do, and it's about the last thing we should do. Don't beat yourself up. Everyone makes mistakes. Look, we are not robots. We are not computers. Look back and see how far you've come. Focus on the progress you've made and celebrate your achievements. And remember, motivation isn't always going to be high. There will be days when we don't feel like doing anything. But by incorporating some of these strategies into your routine, our routine, you can take the first baby steps. And these small steps can catapult you to a much higher level of performance. As usual, the more time spent in practice will be rewarded as your skills myelinate and become automatic. It's therefore worth making the effort. Okay, we've got a few questions to ponder here. And Boris wants to know how you motivate children. Well, anybody who's a teacher or a parent will definitely want to know the answer to this one. And the good news is, and I suppose there's some bad news as well, when kids know what they want to do, they don't need any motivation. The hard thing there is to get them to be motivated to come home and get in the shower and have something something to eat and go to bed and stay there for the next 8 hours, because they will be playing soccer or whatever ball sport they're doing, or on the computer perhaps until midnight, unless you stop them. So they got motivation, and if they don't want to do something, you're going to find it hard to make them do it, I'm afraid. That's the way kids are. That's the health warning that goes with it. But they make up for it in other ways, I know. Joanne wants to know, how do I know if I've chosen the right goal? It's a bit hard to describe this. But it's something you feel. If this goal is up in your head, if it's very analytical, if you've used a spreadsheet to come up with this goal, then, it might be missing a trick or two. Now, because a goal is felt, it's an emotional thing. And where we feel our emotions are not usually in our head, it's in our body. So it might be in our heart, for example. It might be in our abdomen, our guts. It might be the hairs on our arm. Who knows? But it's going to be somewhere in the body. That's the clue. But I've talked in previous shows about the difference between thinking up here, and knowing, which is more like here. Rian wants to know, I heard on a podcast that you do not have any personal goals. Is this true? Well, there's some truth in that. And I'll tell you the reason. I'm a great believer in goals, by the way, and I still am, but I use them in a slightly different way. I used to follow a very strict regime of New Year's Day resolutions, and I'd come up with a list of 10, and I'd write them down, and they'd be printed out. They'd be on the notice board in my study and my studio, and they'd be stuck around other places as well. And every year, at the end of the year, I would tick them off, and usually I got about 7 out of 10. And I do a podcast every year with quite a famous podcast station where we talk about this. And then one year, about 3 years ago, I turned up for the show, and the presenter, Tony, he said, "Okay, Steve, what goals do you have this year?" And I said, "I don't have any." And he said, "Well, what are we going to talk about for the next hour?" And I said, "Well, we could start by saying about why I haven't got any." He said, "Okay, let's see where that takes us." And I said, "The reason is that before this show, I was writing down all the best things that had happened to me last year. And none of those was on my top 10 list, but they were all better. So now I leave a bit of room for the unknown unknowns. I still have my other goals, but they're not as important. More important to me is to leave room and for things that I hadn't planned to manifest." And I've been sticking with that ever since. So now if I do have goals, I might only have 2 or 3. Probably wouldn't be 10 anymore. Okay. Anyways, Rihanna, I hope I've answered that question for you. So yes, I do still believe in goals. Trust me, I certainly do. But as I said, I don't have so many. Now it's time for the Zen and the Art of NLP. It's the top 2 of the week. Here we go. Write your goal on a piece of paper and stick it to your fridge or your bathroom mirror or somewhere else, wherever you choose. And then, because this increases your motivation and your commitment, share your goal with somebody you respect and keep them updated. If possible, find somebody who shares the same goal as you. And if you want to write into me, you can share your goal with me. And there you are. That should boost your commitment a bit as well, because I'll be writing back and asking you if you're still on track. Because this is one of the easy ways to a lot more success with a lot less stress. Thanks for joining us today. We have a great program lined up for you on the same day, at the same time, and at the same place next week. Be there and invite all your friends and family and everybody else too, even the people you don't like. Who knows? You might even get to enjoy their company. Who knows? They might even become your best friend. Funnily enough, that's how my best friend started. We didn't get off to a good start. Stranger things have happened. Let's all raise the vibration of ourselves and our world to a higher frequency, because it certainly needs it. Finally, don't forget to check out my website, drstephensimpson.com, sign up for my free weekly newsletter, and discover plenty of other great stuff too. Please don't forget to send me your questions, your answers, to the big 3 questions that I posted just before the break. What you desire, what's stopping you, and what you want to share with others. Thanks for joining us on the show. I look forward to meeting you all again next week. In the meantime, meet many exciting new people, make massive progress on your projects, and most importantly, have almost too much fun. Too much fun. Goodbye for now.
You have been listening to the Zen and Art of NLP. A lot more success with a lot less stress. Tune in every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as we dive into the depths of your unconscious mind and awaken your intuition, unlocking hidden talents and supercharging your personal and professional relationships. Continue embarking on a stress-free journey towards unparalleled success by subscribing to future episodes and stay updated on the latest content. Easily share these captivating shows with your loved ones and create meaningful connections. Book a personal session with Dr. Steve Simpson to delve deeper into the topics that resonate with you. You can visit his website at drstevensimpson.com.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the station, its management, or advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.